Good day and welcome to this special edition of Spotlight we're calling GM's Corner, a regular series of short conversations with Lake Monticello's General Manager Steve Hurwitz about what's on his mind and what's on his agenda. Well, all right, here we go, Mr. General Manager. Nice to see you once again. Busy as always right here. Conducting, you can't stop. I know you just can't. Things going on, you can't stop. But that's okay. We'll try to tear you away from. We say that there are important things going on. That's as obvious. But anyway, apparently we're getting ready to make an announcement regarding an employment of a new communications and resident services manager, replacing Judy Fish, who resigned recently. What's the story? What's the process been?
Well, it's been an exciting and daunting process because replacing Judy is not something you want to take on lightly. Judy's been such a big presence here in the community in so many positive ways with extraordinary communication of all types. And so we went through a process of advertising the position. We got many applications, many very qualified and experienced people. We did interviews and a very rigorous selection process. And where we are is we've got number one candidate. We're in the middle of the final steps. So not quite ready to announce, except that we're very close, maybe within a matter of days, of being able to announce who that person is. It's a very important position here in a lot of ways because it involves all the communications and marketing of the various aspects, our amenities, golf and food and beverage, the quality of life here, interaction with the local community and the community leadership elements, as well as resident services of all kinds. It includes, for example, the annual election that's in board members in connection with the annual meeting.
Yeah, that's true.
The association.
People don't think about that.
No.
That is a component, but people recognize obviously the editorship and head of production of Lakeviews,
Yes.
Biweekly newspaper, and basically other communications involved with that. So that in itself is quite a component. But the member services entails.
That's much bigger than anyone might realize. It's the front desk, which is our main mode of interacting with most people on many occasions. They have many contacts every day, all day long. So resident services include all kinds of things, selling tickets, receiving payments, just on. And then another huge chunk of importance in the life of the community is activities. Large activities like July 4th, and then smaller activities that are small only by comparison, but are still very important. All of the youth activities we've had this year in cooperation with Fluvanna County Parks and Recreation Department.
They've been expanding.
For which we're grateful, have been run from that department. So this is a very important job, and we're very excited about the person. As soon as we finish the process, I'll look forward to making that announcement.
Well, it's sort of a number of skill sets involved, and as you point out, in conjunction with the annual meeting and basically the production of the proxy and putting all of that together with all the editorial that's involved there, as well as the rest of the mechanics of it. That takes some time, as anyone who's been had anything to do with it can well know. But well, that's coming along, as you say, shortly then.
Very soon.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll look forward to it. Was hoping for a scoop here today, but I guess we just have to be patient and wait in line. So that's all right. Well, we've got Thanksgiving looming in a week. One of, if not the most heavily traveled days, mostly by car. As we know here at Lake Monticello, the epicenter of everything in Fluvanna, if not on the entire East Coast. But this poses problems, obviously, with potential long lines at the gates for visitors, since we have two gates who admit visitors unless you have a barcode for one of the others. And you have some suggestions about how to minimize waiting times for your guests.
Yes, indeed. Well, Chief Tony Abbott, head of the Lake Monticello Police Department, has given this a lot of thought on a long-term basis. So we've got processes in place that will help keep lines to a minimum, but cooperation and a little bit of forethought by anybody that has guests coming would definitely help, as you mentioned. So the kind of things people can do are, if you have guests coming, don't wait until Thanksgiving Day to call in your list, because even though we have a third workstation at the main gate, and we man it with a third person, normally it's just two, it can become overwhelming if they're dealing with people coming in through the gate that need assistance, as well as handling the phones. And then a person is fully dedicated to the turkey sag gate, and because everyone who comes in for assisted entry there, it's a bit of a phone call. They pick up the phone and they talk, so it can get very busy. So the kind of things people can do are send in your guest list. Best is by email, and best is as early as possible, so it can be entered beforehand into the system there, which makes it more expeditious and doesn't detract somebody who then has to pick up the phone and copy down by hand the list. So that's a very important point. A little bit longer term, but it will affect this also. If you're eligible for a barcode, get a barcode. It's not too late to do that. Every vehicle that requires assistance that might not, because they're eligible for a barcode, is another couple of seconds, another vehicle in a line that slows things down. So we're mindful of it, and we're looking forward to doing the best we can with everybody's help.
Mm-hmm. You say send in your guest list by email. How should that be addressed?
They can send it to main gate at LMOA.org.
All right. Okay. Well, that's good advice. And of course, this begins in effect Wednesday afternoon, usually, with a lot of people coming day before the big holiday. So it gets to be pretty busy in both places, really. So good advice. Good advice. Also on the horizon, the Festival of Trees coming. Why don't you tell us about this? And we have it's basically a 3-day festival.
This is very exciting. It's brand new. It rolls in some of our traditional events like Cookies with Santa, which was very successful last year. Way more than 200 children came through the line for a visit with Santa. That's included in this. So the Festival of Trees involves the Lake Monticello Beautification Corps dinner dance on Thursday, the 5th of December. And everybody's encouraged to consider buying tickets available at the pub or at the front desk for the dinner dance, which will be great. Terrific food.
Where will that be held?
Pardon?
Where will that be held?
Oh, that'll be at Ashlawn.
Okay.
And that'll be a great event. And then more details to be announced, but what we're planning to do is to kind of create Rockefeller Plaza here at Lake Monticello.
Why not?
And so there's displays of trees and competitions and all kinds of activities involved in that, including, as I said, Cookies with Santa. People are going to love it. So after the LMBC dinner dance on Thursday the 5th, on Friday the 6th, and on Saturday the 7th, there'll be events all evening on Friday and then all day on Saturday with trees beautifully decorated, some auctions, and an awful lot of fun. I think it's going to be terrific. And again, I think it'll look a lot like Rockefeller Plaza in Manhattan that an awful lot of people like to visit every year.
Well, that'll be wonderful. Create some nice memories for folks, and they can take pictures and do their own comparisons if they want. But listen, this is fine. It's all in the spirit, and should be a good occasion. Most of those where are those Friday, Saturday activities going to take place?
Also at Ashlawn.
Also at Ashlawn.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be very nice.
And we're looking forward to large crowds. We think it's the first of what we think is going to be another great tradition here at the lake.
Mm-hmm. And who's been working to put all that together?
Well, Alan Stewart who's a member of our Communications and Marketing Committee, but he's really running this a bit independently from the committee, but with support from some of the same people. This is an event that Alan has done in another place, another state, at another
really?
time.
Oh, really?
And it was a great part of community life there, and he thought it would be terrific, and we were very excited to hear about it and to fully support it.
Oh, well, I will look forward to that. That sounds very nice and very involving. Maybe people take a little time out from doing their shopping and decorating and all those things that make everybody nervous, you know.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, okay. The employee recognition program has apparently been established and is going. How's it developing?
I'm very pleased about that. You may remember on a couple of occasions and in a couple of ways I've asked people to let us know when they see something noteworthy by our staff, which, by the way, there's a lot of it. We have a great staff, really committed to serving the community and doing the best job possible, and sometimes even better than the best job possible. So people have been very kind about taking a few minutes and really just directly letting me know with an email or any other means of communication about something they saw, participated in, benefited from. And then it's very simple then to go ahead and do some recognition. There'll be more publicity involved with this as we go forward, but we've already started recognizing people with little awards to recognize something special, noteworthy, and so forth. And again, I'm pleased to be able to do this as often as possible because we have a lot of staff really doing their absolute best to make community life something notable.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically on the receiving end or noticing end on the community to take the time to point that out more than anything else. Say, listen, that was a little bit above and beyond, and think that person ought to get a pat on the back or something for it, even if
Yes, indeed.
even if it is a pat on the back or a nice note in the personnel file or something to that extent. I won't ask you about if there are other more tangible results of this for the employee, unless you care to discuss it.
Well, there are.
Oh, there are. Okay.
We use most of the time, food certificates that can be used here at the pub.
Everybody's got to eat.
And that seems to be very well received. People have very much enjoyed that. And that is the tangible element to it. But you know, for most people, the recognition is equally, if not more important. You'd be surprised that you would think that, you know, if someone's doing a job at a very high level and they know they're doing it at a high level, that it's internally satisfying to them. But there's nothing like hearing about it from somebody else.
Yeah,
people really do enjoy that.
Several studies have taken place during the years, which indicates even basically at the corporate level as much as really sometimes a little boost or say, oh, I'll remember you at salary review time really is a thank you from the boss and you know, hey, job well done on that one, you really killed it. You know, that's so people really take heart from that. Still in the holiday mood, there's things are developing here rather rapidly. Another holiday bazaar going to take place when and where?
Well, let me just mention this. Local Eats, which is a store at the CVS storefront, been there for a while. They have had a farmer's market going on and off. Oh. And a lot of residents of the lake have been able to participate in that, I mean, to go to it and so forth. And then instead of a farmer's market, they're having a holiday bazaar coming up. And so I'll just leave it at that. People should stand by. We'll be putting out a little bit of word, maybe in an email, one of our regular email blasts, to let people know some of the details. But time to get ready for that, if that's something that would be interesting. We thought it would be very beneficial for folks in the community to know about something like that that's so immediately close.
Surely.
It's just outside the Slice Gate.
Surely, yeah. All right, well, that's fine. So a lot of things that people start marking your calendar. I'm sure the December calendar fills up in a big hurry as people have events and all the clubs and things do something special and holiday parties. So get these couple of events on there and participate in them. If you come up with any others, by all means, let us know. So we'll thank you very much. We appreciate it. You've been watching GM's Corner, another in our monthly and basically, every 2 weeks. We'll do it that way. Twice a month, that's more precise. Talks with LMOA's General Manager, Steve Hurwitz, about his agenda and what he's thinking about. Hope you'll join us again for another in these series, and also take up the full range of broadcasting that is produced here daily by LMOA's broadcast group. So on behalf of the broadcast group, I'm Ron Krause. Thanks very much for watching, and good day.